Good day, everyone. I'd like to quickly introduce myself. I am Fiona Jane Perocho, and today I will discuss about intensive and extensive properties. First, we'll look at the history of intensive and extensive properties. Following that, we'll explore what intensive properties are, as well as some examples. The same thing will be done with the extensive properties, and we will differentiate between the two before summarizing our discussion. Now, let's get started, shall we? Intensive and extensive properties are the two classes of physical properties of matter. A physical property, in turn, is one which can be observed and measured without changing the chemical composition of the sample. The terms intensive and extensive were first described by physical chemist and physicist Richard C. Tolman in 1970. So what are intensive properties anyway? Well, intensive properties are bulk properties, which means they do not depend on the amount of matter that is present. These physical properties are used for sample identification because they are the same under different conditions and for all sample sizes. Temperatures, density, color, melting and boiling point, etc. are examples of intensive properties as they will not change with the change in size or quantity of matter. Now let's take a water as an example. A 10 kg bucket of water is color blue. If you add another 5 kilograms of water, the water is still color blue. Even the density of the 10 kg of water is the same as the density of 15 kg of water. Furthermore, the boiling and melting point of the 10 kg of water is the same as the 15 kilograms of water. In other words, intensive properties are those that do not change regardless of whether the amount of the substance is small or large. Now that we've finished discussing intensive properties, we'll proceed to extensive properties. Extensive properties do depend on the amount of matter that is present, and their value changes if the size or quantity of matter changes. An extensive property is considered additive for subsystem. While extensive properties are useful for sample identification, they are great for describing it. Examples of extensive properties include length, mass, volume, weight, and size. Now, for example, if a 5 kg of water is added to the 10 kg of water in the bucket, it will result to 15 kilograms of water. Hence, the mass of water changes so as its volume becomes larger. Let's differentiate the two. An intensive is independent property. Size does not change, it cannot be computed, and can be easily identified. Examples of intensive properties include temperatures, density, color, melting and boiling point, etc. While extensive property is an independent property, size changes, it can be computed, and cannot be easily identified. Examples of extensive properties include length, mass, volume, weight, and size. To summarize our discussions, the two classes of physical properties of matter are intensive and extensive properties. Intensive properties do not depend on the quantity of matter, whereas extensive properties do depend on sample size. We've reached the end of our discussion. I hope you enjoy it and appreciate your time. Enjoy your day.